Jim. I could tell. It wasn't that he was in denial, but Jim, in his mind, I think he knew he could beat this. Like everything in life, he would be handled something, and he would crush it. He would work it out. So he immediately researched everything he could. He was a huge podcast listener. He liked the science labs, and I think it was a lot of these individual people who talk on podcasts. I'm sure many are familiar with it.
Radio.
Yeah, talk radio, yeah, basically. So Terry was telling me that she was going through his playlist, and the one that he had circled was memory loss and how to deal with it. So Jim was fighting all the way to the end. He wasn't giving up. But also, it was the first time that I saw Jim really needing help. Family of 14 of us, it shouldn't have been a difficult thing at all. My sister Yvonne stepped up as usual, would give Terry a break, taking care of Jim. Stay with him when Terry would go just catch her breath. Realizing that Jim needed more than just, a couple minutes by himself. He couldn't be left alone. And it was so hard to see my brother Jim, as strong as I idolized him and as strong as I saw him, it was tough to see him slowly fade away. And we always say that, Jim didn't like burden anybody. Anything in his way, maybe he knew how to shut down a little quicker than the average, even though we all still needed him. If not to talk to us, just so we could talk to him. Just to hear him laugh was very important to us. So, in the ham radio field, there's a thing called the silent key. And it's a term going back to the wired telegraph days, when a radio operator that would send Morse code would pass away, and people would listen for his code. Jim's was WB6BRM. He would punch that in, and people would light up, and people would talk to him. So, in Jim's mind, his last key, silent key, is for him. He needs to, I'm sure his friends are missing him. He touched so many lives touched so many hearts and lives in our family. His charm, his willingness to help everybody, regardless of what they had in return, and his personal time he took from his own personal life and problems. I can't tell him thank you enough. We all get a couple minutes. I give eulogy. I'm going to do my 3 minutes now about Jim. The gratitude of him. One day I was in the backyard fixing a bicycle, and he came up to me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to get this old piece of junk." Because at that time the dump had closed, so I didn't have the shopping mall that they all had access to. But he says, "I got something better than a bike for you." I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Look at this." He was 10 years older than me. At this time I was probably 9. And he rolls me up this Honda Trail 90. I could even stand up and hold it up by myself. But he assured me that I could ride it. He assured me that I could handle it. And I didn't care. I was going to do it anyhow. My mom knew how to give stitches. So he gave it to me. And I just remember asking him, I said, what do you want for it? Because I knew there was older brother Joel, I always knew there was a catch. I give you something, you better be careful before you say yes. But Jim, nothing. He just said, "No, enjoy it." He goes, I know you'll have fun with it. And that was just his charity, his gift. He never asked for anything in return. And I know I've never paid him back for all of the things he's done for me. And I love him very much. And I will miss him. So that is Jim's life, and that's who Jim Fox was. And I hope we all were able to have our own personal time. I hope that we can all remember him and all the good he's done for us. And I say his name is Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Matt. We're going to continue with the program. We'll try to go as rapidly as possible. Terry requested that each member of the family come up and give a 3-minute memory of Jim, and we're gonna keep it to 3 minutes. Our Sue's gonna come up and slap you upside the head, right, Sue? Kathy, would you come up first? Jerry, can you make your way up here? Yvonne's over here, I'm here, and I think Steve. We're gonna go to Steve and Denise. Then we're gonna have a musical number by Tiffany Lambert and her niece, Aubrey Thompson Lambert, and who else? Who's the, Abby. Abby's gonna go, they're gonna request that Jim made years ago or perform the ukulele, is that correct? And we give it to 3 minutes, come on up. This is Catherine.